Hi, second grade. Today is an exciting day because this is our first checkpoint of distance learning. So we've taken a lot of checkpoints in our classroom, but today we're going to be taking one online. So I want to show you how to access the checkpoint and how to use it because I've had to make a few adjustments so that you can do it on your computer. So this is the checkpoint that you're going to be taking. It probably looks similar to the ones that you've taken in class. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to read the story, which is From Those Shoes by Mary Beth Bolts. Right up here is a little piece of information that's going to tell you about what was happening before this part of the story, because the part you're reading today is just a piece of a much bigger book. So it's going to be important to read this part of the story first before you go into reading the rest of the passage so that you know what's going on. Once you've finished reading the story and looking at the picture, you are going to go into answering the questions. Now there's 2 multiple choice questions and 1 written response question. So once you read the question and go through our multiple choice strategies for answering multiple choice questions, you are going to, once you figure out what the best answer is, move the circle to mark the correct answer. So for example, I can move it up. I could mark D, I can mark C, whoops. Now you want to be careful that you don't do what I just did. If you click on it when it's just an arrow like that, it can change the size of the circle. But we just want to move it, so I want to make sure that it looks like this, and then I can move it all over the page. Okay, you're going to do that for both of the multiple choice questions. So it's a 2-part question, a part A, a part B. So you'll do move the circle to the correct answer on both pages. And then when you get to the last page, this is the written response question. So on the bottom here, I put a little checklist that you need to go through before you finish your response. So you can type your response in the box right here. I'm going to want to make sure that I delete where it says type here, and then I can start typing my response, okay? So once I do that and I've finished and I know that I've done my best work, I'm going to just go through this checklist quickly to make sure that I've done everything on the checklist so that I can get the best grade possible. So the checklist says I wrote at least 3 sentences. I answered all of the questions in the prompt. I started all of my sentences with a capital. I ended all of my sentences with punctuation. And I read over my work to make sure it makes sense. Once I've done that and I know I've done all of those things, then I will be done with my checklist.